Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. I look very nice. Now I'm a thief. Okay. Good morning, Bartholomew. Good morning, Carrick. Where are you from, Carrick? Let me prepare today's topic. Meanwhile, you guys pick a topic. Okay, feel free. Type something in the chat box. Just type it, and I am going to. You see, this is RSI syndrome. So I have these metal balls. So you see, these are made of stone, solid stone. And meanwhile, I have this made of clinky metal. Okay, let me show you. So you see, so this is my workstation, Xali's workstation. And you rotate them, you can keep them always in touch. Okay, or in the other direction, or you can not have them touch each other when you roll. It's annoying. They make these clinky ones. They make noises. I rather prefer them not to make noises like this. So there's a lot of them you can buy. These are good for your. Now there's this now three of them. Three of them. Fantastic. Now you just roll on your finger. So, and you guys buy the keyboard. This is the best keyboard, okay? The best keyboard in the universe. Actually, I wouldn't say it's the best in the universe, but you buy. I know buy, you buy, okay? You buy from my website. Just search for Xali keyboard. I give you the master advice about those things. Now, okay, let's have a sip of drink, and I'm going to talk about today's thing. So first of all, xa start command log mod. Okay, in case we are doing Emacs, then you can see all my commands right there. Let's shrink the window, and I'm going to show you. Okay, show the hand exercise balls. Okay, there are a few topics I prepared. Now let's prepare today's notes. Xa Talk Show, Emacs a brief. Okay, fantastic. Now I need today's date. Okay. Now I need to create a new page and create a link just like this one. So I go back here, call XNP, Xa new page, all custom Emacs commands I've written. Fantastic. Now I press a key. You see on the left side you can see tab. Now I type li. Okay, it becomes a list item. Cut. Now go over here, paste, shrink those. Okay, now I go over here, one key press. You see, one key press, cut that. Now I go to this. You see another one key press. Okay, now I press one key to save it, open it, show in browser. Today's notes. Okay, now another one key, back to Emacs, then paste. Remember we copied, we cut that. Now go back here, one key, and make it a list, show in browser. Fantastic. This is the things I want to talk about. That's the mastery of Emacs operations, the most efficient possible. Brought to you by Xafly Keys. Okay? Magnify. So today's topic. What is today's topic? Good morning, Carrick from Brazil. Oh, great! I have a Brazil follow-up from Brazil. Brazil, in my brain, Brazil. When I think of Brazil, Brazil is hot women. Okay. like Brazilian wax. I've never been to Brazil, but I lived in Paraguay in 1994 for 1 year. That is when I was 14. Okay, when I was young, when you were young, when I was young, that was yeah. So I was talking about my this repetitive strain injury. So right now I actually have that. Like I can feel some kind of hurt. It's not exactly pain. This been there for a year. So I do this metal ball. I hit it, or just like that. It feels comfort. For some reason, you get old. So I don't know what is the cause of this time, the repetitive strain injury this time. I don't know. Repetitive strain injury, when your hand feels numb or tingling, your fingers, it every person is different. For some people it's some tingling on the thumb or the pinky or index finger. It's different for everyone. Sometimes it's the arm. Sometimes it's the wrist. So it's different for everyone. So in the past 15 years, I had I had these issues, and each time it's different. But usually when it happens, when I feel numb or something, I spend a month to try to figure out exactly what's the cause. And usually I did find out. For example, in 2005, that's the first time I have repetitive strain injury. 2005. I've been typing on a computer keyboard since 1991. So I've been using keyboard for 15 years. I don't have a problem. But until 2005, so what is the cause of that? The cause of that is because for 2 years, entire 2 years, I was using a Mac laptop. That is the cause. Mac laptop, typing on a laptop. That is the cause. So let me show you a bit of that. So if So Bartholomew says, why do you have the injury if you are already entirely ergo transformed? Yeah, I can tell you why. I can talk about that. Uh, Bartholomew says, it's my favorite language for my private stuff. What? NIM? Oh, you also do NIM? Well, someone else benefit besides me no NIM. Okay, so cool. Why do you have the injury? Okay, so this is the best keyboard in the US. Universities is the best. 1 minute later, actually, I wouldn't say it's the best. Yeah, it's true. So we can talk about which exactly is the best. If I forgot, if you like to, like if you want me to talk about that, we can, just remind me. Just type it. So I was going to say, you go to my Emacs page, just search for Xa Li Emacs, okay, and you go to Emacs keys. This is some of the topics that I talk often. You go to there is a section about Emacs Pinky. Now, all these articles are related to how to avoid it, why Emacs keys are no good, what can you do, things like that. What's the method to press the keys, control keys, and so on. So that's this section, Emacs Pinky. And what I want to show you is um, how to avoid Emacs Pinky. Okay, I talked about this in my video last week or so. Anyway, I talk about this often. So, but today I want to show you this. Oh, by the way, last time I forgot to show you this picture. You see, some people actually, you put this wedge, wooden wedge on top of the control key so that it's even easier for you to use the palm techniques to hit the control key. So you can do that. This is not the only way. I've seen other people with other creative solutions. You want to make the control key bigger, so you can just press it with your palm. So this is great. You can do that. And actually, I have another picture. Um, Keyboard blog. Maybe I can show you that. But before I forgot, I want to show you the metal balls. Okay. So anyway, so let me show you the metal balls. So you go all the way bottom to the bottom. You can find several hand exercise toys. You can buy this pewty. You can buy these plastic balls. These are squeeze balls. I have it. I have some of these things, and or you can buy this squeezer. I also have it somewhere here. Yeah, I should have. It's somewhere there on the floor. It's all dusty. And juggling. Okay, I can juggle. Did you? Well, I showed that in one of the video. I can juggle, for example, these balls. But I think I rather not because it's gonna. If I drop, it's gonna be a major problem. Okay. Now this is I think my roommate's still sleeping, so I should be not too loud. So anyways, so you can buy these. They came from these balls, metal balls. They are from China actually. Actually, let me show it to you. Hold on a second, okay? Open, back to Emacs, close. Now on the left window, you can see all my Emacs commands and the key I'm pressing. By the way, all these SR, SW, ST, S supposed to be super, so it means the command key on the Mac. But however, they are actually single key press. For example, when you see this, it's actually single key press. Let me show you. I showed that before. But why does it say SW? That's because I'm using a keyboard marker. So I press one key, then that becomes Command W. So that is why it shows like that. But actually, it's one single key. So one of my advice is to always use one, to read of key codes. Never type key codes. So what is it I want to show? Oh, yeah, this one. So let's go back to Xa Talk Show. Yes, put it here. Actually, go to here and paste. Okay, so you guys can go buy it. Now, Xafly keys. Okay, so what is So if you guys don't have topic, and I'm just going to start to talk randomly. So show exercise balls. That is this thing. Okay, and then schedule for next week. Yeah, let me talk about. So schedule for next week. Let's say 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. every day for next week. Okay, starting Monday, 10 a.m. every day. Okay, San Francisco time. Okay, that's for next week. And I'm wondering if I should have like fixed topic. Like Monday, it's Emacs. Tuesday, Emacs Lisp tutorial. Thursday, JavaScript. Wednesday, JavaScript. Thursday, maybe YouTube. Random politics. Things. Current events. Friday, something else. So I'm thinking maybe I should do that. Right now, it's undecided. So if you like that, say it. Okay. Okay, I'm checking the status. Okay, I'm still alive. So Bartholomew says it's a very good idea because some people want only specific topic. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's say put on specific topic for each day. Okay, now where am I going to post that? You can go to YouTube Xali. Okay, then go to my channel, basically in the chat box. I mean, not chat, the community. Community. Okay, I guess you go here, community. I'm gonna announce the topics there. Yeah, that's where you go. Okay, so that's about that. Let's see, is there something else I wanted to mention? But So Emacs Pinky. Oh yeah. So I was saying. So 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 Bartholomew says, I like all your topics except Emacs. Not really interested in that one. So you don't use Emacs? Do you use Emacs? So let's have today's drink. Today's drink is this. This is a energy drink, sugar free. Okay, never drink any drink that contains sugar, such as Pepsi, Coke, and stuff. Those do things to your body, bad things, and do things to your teeth. Have you ever seen a video where they put your teeth in a Coke? They rot your teeth very quickly. And I think I'm out of juice, so this is tasteless. And I also have milk with powdered coffee. Weibo, good morning, Weibo. What is key or highlighted region shortcut in Software keys? Is there a comprehensive list of leader key commands I can find? Of course. You should know it if you read my Software keys page. So for example, if you want to know a comprehensive list of all commands starting with the leader key, all you have to do is, let me demonstrate. Okay, so my leader key is space. Okay, so I'm in command mod, I press space. Okay, now you see the bottom is a space, it's waiting for my next keystrokes. Now you press Control H. Okay, let's do it. Control H. There you go, that's a result. You see, so this page 200 lines, so I have about 200 commands that has a key. Each one has a key sequence begin with the space key. Space is the leader key. So that's how you find it. In fact, this technique, pressing Control H, can be done in that's part of Emacs feature. For example, if you want to know all keys starting with Control X, okay, you can do that. Let's do it. So I press Control X. Okay, now you see the bottom, it says Control X. Now I press Control H. Now I get all possible keys beginning with Control X. So that this is a general Emacs technique. This is building Emacs. Just press Control H. Type the key you want. First, then type Control X, Control H. It will list all keys. Following that. So I don't use Emacs. I use an editor you would probably laugh about. Oh, Bartholomew don't use Emacs. Okay. So Bartholomew says, very. I like your topic. Okay, so you don't use Emacs. So what is the name the editor? Yes, name the editor. Vim. So let me guess. Okay, I don't use Emacs. I use an editor you would probably laugh about. I don't know what Vim. Uh, you know, in my thinking, editors are not really important. Like this is the topic I talk about sometimes. Like this is our talk show, so I tell you my thinking, how I think about things, how I view things. My philosophy kind of things. So I can, so I'm a Emacs user, and a lot, in a Emacs community, Emacs users or Vim, every day they say, "Oh, which editor do you use?" Among programmers, it sounds like it's so important. In fact, editor is the most trivial. It's insignificant. Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, how do you judge one piece of software? Suppose you have any given software between two software. How do you judge how important it is with respect to humanity? Okay, to the history. Also, Bartholomew says I use micro made by Zdelia. Okay, I don't know what micro. I don't know what editor is that. Okay, let me talk about how do you judge, how important is a piece of software with respect to humanity, okay, not with respect to tech nerds, with the Unix philosophy nerds, idiots, okay, not respect to them, with respect to humanity, or even with respect to human history. How do you judge a piece of software? How is it? How important is it? Here's how you judge, okay. Imagine there is a god, okay, there's a disaster, disasters like earthquake or typhoon or cyclone. It happens. Flood. Tsunami in Japan, in Philippines, in India, typhoon in Asia, in Taiwan, in China. Okay, or in U.S. you have cyclones or storm. The whatever. Every time that happens, sometimes you have hundreds people died, sometimes thousand people died. It's a disaster, right? It's a natural disaster. And whenever happens, you have the stock market, for example, you'll go up or down. You'll go down, things like that. The stock market, and also the government. They will have emergency. Some states they'll declare emergency. Things like that. They will also assess the damage, like 2 billion things destroyed. 1,000 people died, or 2,000 people died, or 100 people died, and things like that. You assess the damage, then you try to fix it. This is important because once, it's important. You want to know, how much damage, what is lost. Just like yourself. If you fell down on the street, if you are riding a bicycle, you fell down, you want to assess the damage. Like, do you need to see a doctor, or is it just a scratch? You need to know that. In the same way, natural disaster for a region, you government or access it, and also you can see it reflected in stock market, all situations. In the same way, if you want to judge whether a language, some programming language, how important it is, or an editor, Emacs, how important. Just imagine there's a natural disaster, and from this second on, flip of a finger, Emacs is wiped out. Okay, from now on, Emacs do not exist in the world by a magical disaster. Let's say. Then, so Emacs today disappeared. There's like tomorrow someone start to use Emacs, it's gone. You see, it's entire the entire history of source code is all gone. Okay, nobody, so everyone will talk about it. But then, okay, so think about just like other natural disasters. What will happen? The government, of course, they will assess the damage. Okay, what will happen? I'll tell you what will happen. If Emacs disappear, nothing will happen. Nothing. You just switch to Vim. Nothing happens. You switch to Atom. Okay, that's how important Emacs is. Okay, so Emacs. So from this perspective, my perspective, I'm telling you, from this way of accessing this, you can see that Emacs is not important to humanity at all. Okay, it's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Ignore the idiot, Unix philosophy people. On the other hand, so editor in general is not important. If Atom died, Microsoft Visual Code, Visual Studio, Visual Code, if any one of them died, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Okay. In the same way, you can access how important is other software or programming languages. You can imagine, for example, let's say Scheme Lisp, right? Many of you Lisp are many of my followers are Lisp fanatics. Scheme Lisp, the most elegant language, or NIM, okay, or NIM, or others, okay, Golang. But let's pick one. Let's say Scheme Lisp. So today, Scheme Lisp suddenly disappeared. What will happen? Okay, I can tell you what will happen. Almost nothing. Okay, Nothing. The scheme lisp, so nothing will happen. So in this sense, in this respect, you can see scheme lisp has no importance with respect to human animals, okay? With respect to human history, no importance. What if common lisp disappear? Nothing will happen, okay? Common lisp, among my followers, so many common lisp fanatics, nothing will happen. Let's pick another language. What if Java suddenly disappeared, like right now, disappeared? A major disaster. What will happen? Then that's something big, okay? The stock market will all crash, okay? That's a major disaster. Maybe you'll have people dead, die, thousands, I don't know, people died. It's going to be a major disaster. That is how important Java language is, okay? In the same way, if C language disappeared, C++ disappeared, PHP disappeared, they all kind of have the same effect, okay? But if Haskell disappeared, mm, you maybe nothing much happens. So anyway, that's one of a perspective I'm giving you. In my opinion, this is how you judge how important is a piece of software with respect to human animals. Okay, not with respect to the Unix philosophy, the Linux idiots, the Linux tech geekers, okay, or Linux open source. They're all idiots. They are idiots. Okay, so that is about that. Let's see what's the other topic we are talking about. Okay, so let's write down what we just talked about over here. How to judge the importance of a piece. Hold on. Okay, show the left window of a piece of software with respect to humanity. Okay, that is my opinion. Uh, you don't hear about this much among the idiots, among the programmers. Every day they talk about the Unix philosophy people, the Unix fanatics, the Linux fanatics. Every day they talk about, oh, Vim versus VI. I mean Vim versus Emacs. But the fucking idiots. Okay, they don't understand. Like I said many times, they don't understand humanity. They don't understand how the world works. The open source fanatics, most of them, they have no idea. They live in this small, world. The hackers, Okay, so let's see what topic did I miss or did I. I think that's about it. There is another thing I want to show you, which is kind of related to Emacs and related to how do I work on my website. For example, I have my website sali.info and my Emacs website and others websites. So what do I do every day? So I can show you that. I'm so busy. I have to maintain 6,000 files, 6,000 of essays and tutorials. I have to maintain them. 6,000. I wrote them manually, tag by tag, intimately manually, from the past 20 years. So every day I have to work on that. So I can show you one of the things I'm doing. Uh, okay, but that's it. What I have. So let me just read the comments and see what is going on with you guys. So we talked about 30 minutes. That's great. And what is this window? Close it. Okay. So let me read the comments. Magnify, magnify. Okay, magnify. You. So if you have comments or questions, just type it now. Okay, type it now. I'll get to it. Okay, so why do you have the hand injury, if you are already entirely ego transformed? I'll tell you. I'll talk about that. So okay, so I use micro. Okay, no comments. Okay, yeah, I don't see any comments. Never heard of micro before. It looks very minimalistic in a way. Is that micro? Is that the one used by Linus Torvalds? Justin. Good morning, Justin. Okay, so I'm going to figure people coming in the Emacs community. Okay, okay, I don't have juice. Okay, and I figured that Emacs chanting, there is Emacs command shortcut for that. Would laugh about it. It does not have capabilities of Emacs. Yes, minimalistic. I don't judge people. They can use what they like. People laugh that Emacs does too much. What's the most important piece of software then? SQL or PC or C? I don't know. Well, I don't know. Both of them are important. What I'm saying about that topic is just that I'm just giving you a method, kind of a way to judge what software is important. Now, important software does not necessarily mean good. For example, you know, we have many countries that are communists. The communism idea, or when it comes to politics. Anyway, let's see some other subject. Let's see. I mean, it's just the way they are. So C and SQL, they are of course very important because they are used everywhere. If C and SQL, if SQL dies today, then it's gonna be major disaster. Nothing, we're gonna all crumble down. Like within 1 week, maybe we'll have zombies. We'll have zombie nations. The same thing, similar with C. If all C suddenly disappear, or yeah, we can make a distinction between whether it's what if C. I mean, there's two different. It's like we can think about. One thing is if C, you can no longer create any C code. Let's say C compilers, all C compilers disappeared, and their source code, all C compilers disappeared. That's one scenario. Or the other scenario is that you can think that all code that's currently, including binary code that's written in C, that all that disappears. It stops working, and disappears. That's more serious. That's kind of far more serious. So Dingo says Emacs users can laugh. They are busy customizing Emacs. I guess C is pretty important because of all the system code that would have to be rewritten. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Linux is written in C, right? So if all C programs and all software that's written in C disappears, then that would include Linux. So if Linux stopped working, disappears everywhere, that means all Android will disappear as well. That's going to be a major disaster. Uh, so that would mean by tomorrow we'll have a zombie world. Okay, I don't have any topics now, so I guess you guys don't have comments. Let's see, what is this? Stop, play, stop, stop. Okay, I don't have any more comments. I mean, no, I don't have any more topics. So let's see how many people are watching. 12 people watching. Okay, so if no topic, then okay, let me just show you how I'm working on this. Okay, or maybe actually I'm thinking maybe we can stop because my video is getting longer and longer. So Bartholomew says, how big would your party be if suddenly Linux disappeared? I don't really care. I mean, it's not like it's not like you see, you see, I don't hate. I mean, I don't bear. It's like I don't want. I don't want to damage Linux. Okay, like maybe many people saw. They watched my flaming about Unix and Linux. They think I would be so happy if something bad happened to Linux. No, I don't. I don't want that. I don't care about that. Okay, what so? But what I care, you see, the thing that gets me going is that I want my opinion, okay, about this thing to be known. In other words, I want, in a sense, I want truth to be known. It's like I want to when I see something that's untrue and that's widely spread, that's the thing that's the thing that gets me. So I want to kind of correct it. Okay, whether you believe me or not, it's up to you. But I want to attack it, correct it. So actually, I talked about this. This is this is just my life, my personality. Okay, this just so happens some people are like that. Some people are more of a teacher type. Some people are leader type. Some people are philosophy type. Some people are businessman type. You have different people. So the thing with me is that I want to maybe you could say a critic or a philosopher or critic or I, I yeah, when something is untrue, uh, that gets on my nerves, and a lot of people don't know about it, chant it. That kind of gets on my nerves. So I've been fighting with the Unix people, in Emacs people, in lisp people, about these kind of things. And I have actually an article I wanted to talk about the other day. I mentioned, but you can go there by the hacker code. Okay, click on hacker code and go to there. It is this one. Okay, Netiquette anthropology, tech geekers and trolls. Xa says, when a person's sanity is at balance, when human passion is raging, no etiquette must get in the way. I wrote that in 2001. Okay, this hate kept me alive. That is kind of my life story. So anyway, my point, you see, so why am I like this? I mean, the thing, is that I want to. So I don't. So actually, I have a formula that indicates, which issue in society or which topic in society will get me to, attack it. Actually, I have a formula that is, uh, okay. So on this page is my collection about issues related to internet trolling, flame wars, internet argument, basically quarrels among people. From my point of view, my observations, and also, especially in the tech geekers or Unix nerds among this hacker culture. That is the word, hacker culture. My criticisms of them. So you have a bunch of articles in the past 20 years I've written about that topic. They many of these people that they call me a troll and they attack me, they get me banned, so on. And here is my retort. I'm telling you why, or actually, things like that. Uh, for example, but okay. So there is an article I want to talk about. Let's read some of the titles. Okay. And okay, before we do that, by the way, there is this Shakespeare's quote. Okay, hold on a second. Let me read another passage. I, as a troll, is rather special because I tend to put a final say on things. In contrast with one-liner trolls, I myself despise. I actually despise trolls. In a sense, I'm an anti-troll, untroll, or an atrocious a troll. At first, I balked at being branded a troll. Now I revel it. I, as a troll, is rather recent, beginning and getting worse around 1998. I have been using online forums since 1990. Perhaps one day I'll write how I became a troll. It is bound to be a tragedy. So I wrote that in 2002. Then there is this quote: I'll find a day to massacre them all and raise their faction and their family. Now this is Shakespeare. This is Shakespeare's play, Titus Andronicus. This is fantastic play, okay, Shakespeare. I read the whole thing several times and I annotated it. I spent like a year annotate the entire thing by reading Wikipedia, reading the whole thing word by word. If a word I don't understand, I look up dictionaries and then I look up Wikipedia. So I actually did annotations of the whole thing. Um, and this is my kind of my favorite play. Okay, this play is about revenge. Is about atrocious. Okay, atrocious. It's more atrocious than the modern movies of gore. Uh, you know, and you see this character. Her name, she is Lavinia. Her hands got cut off. Her tongue got cut off. Anyway, so about trolls. Okay, so let's read some of the titles. Paul Graham Paul Graham's infatuation with the concept of hacker. Paul Graham's got a thing. He's got a obsession with the concept of hacker. And he's this guy. He's rich. He sold. He wrote the programming common lisp and sold it to Yahoo and became the Yahoo store. He sold it for several millions or hundreds of millions. In 2002 or something like that. So he become very rich, and once you become famous and rich, and he's also the type of guy. He's a writer type of guy. Like he talk a lot. He like to write about his opinions on things. Like me, and like Jamie Zawinski. There are quite a few people like that. Jamie Zawinski, Richard Stallman, uh, Eric S. Raymond, ESR, yeah, Eric S. Raymond. Some of these guys, they talk a lot. The programmers types, and Paul Graham is kind of one of them. So he write a lot of opinions, and typically with these people, when you are famous, you have a lot of followers, right? You have lots of programming nerds following you, and you became kind of a god. You became idolized by lots of programmers. And usually it's a case. It's like a movie star. Once you become a star, you have tons of followers. Then it's almost like anything you say, all the people will talk about it. Like what shirt are you wearing today? you know, like what shirt are you wearing today? Everyone wants to know. Like if you are wearing a blue shirt, everyone is talking about it. Things like that. It's like that. Once you become a star. So Paul Graham, he's rich and famous, and he started the Y Combinator company. So he wrote a lot of opinions, and one of one of his essays about philosophy. He started to talk about philosophy. What the idiot? That article is rather idiot. So I read that. I criticized. It's kind of idiot. once you become a star, like Bill Gates, even including Bill Gates, any stars, like you have opinions, but you don't really know much about that things. So generally, this is true. So let me give you advice. Okay, if you know a star, maybe in programming or whatever, or celebrity. Okay, yeah, you can follow them, but remember they are whatever they say in general, don't believe it. It's like almost like bullshit. The only thing you can actually trust, whatever that has a good value, is what they are known for. For example, what things Paul Graham say that I will kind of pay more attention and believe it is valid. It would be whenever he have opinion on common lisp, then I would value it very much. I would pay attention to what he say. You know Now if I don't know anything about common lisp, then I will just believe him. Okay. Now remember, common lisp, not other languages, not Haskell, not functional programming, not how language should be designed. Okay. Remember, must be very specific. Why common lisp? Because is a we can be sure he's a common lisp expert. Okay, because he wrote Yahoo story in common lisp. So whenever he says something about common lisp, it's likely to be very valid. Okay. And also, whenever he talk about startup companies, how to run a company, that's likely to be to be valid. Okay, because he started Y Combinator, very successful, about how on entrepreneurship. But however, any other opinion, like his opinion about hackers, his opinion about what's philosophy, whether philosophy is important, that's that's basically almost garbage. Okay, it's like almost garbage. In the same way, let me give you an example. Like if you read, today people like to cite Einstein. Oh, Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Okay, people like to quote Einstein, this or that, or every day. It's all bullshit. So what you should be able to tell now. How do you judge if Einstein says something about something? How do you judge it's good or not? Okay, it's about physics. Now, if Einstein says something about physics, that's maybe it's a good opinion. You should pay attention. Anything else on politics, on knowledge versus being smart or versus imagination, on anything, on peace, on how to achieve peace, peaceful world, world peace, anything. It's likely. It's just like Joe Blue's opinion. Okay, this same thing applies with any Bill Gates, any hot shots, celebrities. So okay, that's about that. Okay, so this question. So Zhangzika Hazao. what what name is that from? Where you from? I haven't seen you before. So what do you think about Mark Tarver and his Shen language? Um, okay, let's talk about that. So close that. Go to the talk show. Let me type that here. Okay, so go here. Uh, so actually, go back to here. Copy. Go back to Emacs. Paste. Okay. Mark Tarver. Uh, so actually, I know him a little bit. We communicated uh, private, privately for a few times, and also we communicated public, in comp dot land dot lisp a few times. Okay, I have about 3 articles on him. Uh, okay, there's one. There's another one. There is another one. Mark Tarver is kind of a sad person. I mean, he's extreme nerd. Okay, he's extreme nerd. I like him. Okay, I like him. I wish him success, but he's not getting. He's not kind of like me. He lives in poverty. He becomes a monk. Okay, I mean a real monk. I'm kind of a monk in a sense. I'm ascetic. I live in poverty below poverty. I just eat bread just like that, bread, milk, and survive. He's kind of like that too. But he's, so I can say I'm a digital monk. I do computers. He's kind of like that too, but he's a real monk. He believes in a branch of Buddhism. I don't know. I forgot what branch. Typically any Westerners, there are quite a lot of Westerners who are into yoga, who are into Zen, who are into Tao, who are into Eastern philosophy. Oh, Tao Te Ching. Oh, I Ching. Oh, they are very into that. White people, okay, and or yeah, they into Buddhism. Typically, when I see that, I think they are kind of idiots. Okay, they are just idiots. They don't know what it is. The reason they are into Buddhism because it's exotic, because they never seen it before. It's new. It's novel. It's like a novelty. Oh, Buddhism. Oh, Buddhism think things about the universe this way. Oh, it's so great. Taoism. They talk about. Sometimes you see quotes, or they name their software project Tao something or Chi something. When I see that, it's like idiots. Okay, because to them it's new, it's novel. They tired of the Western philosophy. They tired of the justice freedom kind of thought. Yeah. So they find Eastern philosophy interesting. So there are a lot of, especially these type of people are, especially you see that a lot. For example, in Silicon Valley, in this California where I live, among Googlers, Facebooks, these people, they are so rich every day. They drive, expensive cars, the Tesla, Tesla cars, they are into green, and they live a very comfortable fucking these scumbags, and they chant open source every day, while meanwhile they work for Facebook, Google, Apple. They make a lot of money. They chant, then they say they chant about open source, and they write open source software at night, so they eliminate any possibility of making money for me, who do not work for open source. This scum. These people, many of them are in Emacs community everywhere, of course. So anyway, this typically, especially in California, these rich people, many of these programmers, they are into the yoga, or yoga, mostly women. Okay, they are why? Because their life is too comfortable. They are too wealthy. Okay, they especially. By the way, remember that Jack Dorsey, billionaire, who the head of Twitter. He's into meditation. He went to the what country? I did a video on that few months ago. Search for Xali YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for Xali, Twitter CEO, or Xali Jack Dorsey. Twitter CEO. I think I talked about that. So these are people who are rotten. He has their life is like too comfortable. So they search for, meanwhile, they cannot stop doing evil. They keep, the Twitter CEO, for example, they keep doing, they know, the way Twitter, the whole society is become corrupt, diversion. They know why. But they are not, they are not going, the making more money is more important for them. So they are not changing Twitter things. Anyway, this scum. Anyway, that Jack, Twitter CEO is one example, but he's the extreme example because he's billionaire. But then among Google programmers, you have a lot of them. Okay, so they have a comfortable life. They get bored. So they want to do. They find Asian things interesting. And also constantly they have a guilt. Typically white people, okay, they, yeah, when it comes to this, it's true. It's typically always white people. They have some sense of guilt. They want to help, so they, if you want to help, Stop making. There's so many ways you can help. Okay, but that's not what they choose to do. They instead of they are their help of other people is such the way such way that they keep making money. They keep making more money. They will find a way to convince others and convince themselves that they are doing a lot help for the world, the poor or women or but meanwhile actually they make more even more money than before. It's these white people. So anyway, so that's my opinion about white people and into Taoism. Okay, but let me get back to talk about Mark Tarver. Uh, White people, yuppies, programmers at Google, Facebook, Twitter, act why they are into Eastern religion. Okay, that's my opinion, my commentary about that, because they don't know nothing about Buddhism. If they lived in China or Taiwan for like 10 years or half of their life, they will not be interested in Buddhism. Now, okay, I can tell you for sure. Now, now about Mark Tarver. Okay, let me copy the comments. Okay, so meanwhile let's do some Emacs demo. Okay, so speed. Okay, hold on a second. Let's switch back. Okay, so you can see my other command window. So open a new buffer, paste. Okay, now copy the file path, paste it here, change the HTML to text. Okay, make it a paragraph and go back to put cursor on here and open it. It doesn't exist. Do I want to create it? Yes. Okay, go back here, cut, back here, paste. Okay, close, save it. Okay, now make a link. Okay, now close that empty buffer. Now show this in browser. Now I got the link of today's chat. Actually, it's not complete. So anyway, so let's talk about Mark Tarver. And now Mark Tarver, so he's kind of a very special person. I mean, so he's kind of weird guy. Okay, he was a professor. He was a professor, and he quit because he do not believe this establishment, the institutional institutionalized education system. Well, because there's a lot of corruption and stuff, so he just quit. He just one day he quit, and he started to live a kind of a nomadic life, I suppose. I don't know exactly. So anyway, he believed in Eastern Buddhism, some branch, I forgot what. And he actually become he's real. Okay, not like typical white people. He actually believed that deeply. He went to live in India. He went to live in India and become live with the monks, and he becomes a monk officially. I think as officially. So that's Mark Tarver, very interesting guy. And he created, in the beginning, he created the Chi language. Okay, so I have several articles about that. Okay, the first one is this one. I created this logo for him. This is back in 2011. Okay, Chi. Okay, why Chi Lisp fails and Clojure succeeds. That's one article. The another article is why. The article is what's philosophy of Paul Graham. Chi Lisp creator Mark Tarver on is philosophy useful? Okay, remember Paul Graham wrote this essay about whether philosophy is useful. It turns out Mark Tarver also responded to that. Now Mark Tarver's got problems. He deleted his website. His website his marketing skills is zero. Okay, it's not to such a degree that that for many reasons his language is nowhere. Not going nowhere. No, then so he created Chi language. Chi language is kind of it's a lisp. Okay, it's a modern lisp. Okay, he created Chi. Then later on he destroyed it. Then he created Chi 2. Then he renamed it. Then it becomes Shen. It's no good. Okay, I mean I think I don't really know the language. But I think it's good. But however, the way he do things to it, like changing the name, then changing website, he does that all the time. It's like he's a like kind of an idiot guy in destroying these things. Okay, and anyway, he wrote a book. There's a book of Shen. Okay, um, by the way, Chi. So he's very much into Eastern philosophy. I mean he becomes a monk. He's an actual monk. So Chi, it's a Chinese word meaning kind of it kind of meaning it means energy or energy and spirit. I mean it means multiple things. Chinese words are like that, but generally it means like energy or spirit or your breath. It's kind of, it means kind of like that. So chi. So or it also means essence, the essence of something. The essence. So that's the word chi. So he created a language named Chi. I think it's great. Or you might have heard Qigong, which is kind of a kung fu. That's supposed, anyway. That's Chi. Then after a few years, he came up with a new version. He called Shen. Now Shen, that means God. Okay, so basically, so he created a language that means God. In Chinese, God. Um, the Western people have this. Hacker types have this idiotic kind of silliness. Like every time they have a obsession to name something God. For example, in Emacs you have a mod called God mod. Okay, or in other languages like constantly or God particle. For example, in physics you have God particle. So in Western society among the white people, it's a kind of cultural. You have this obsession about naming, like something God, God, God particle, God mod, God language. It's kind of idiotic. So again, I'm illustrating the difference. The Western society's philosophy and concept is quite totally different from the Eastern culture. Okay, in Eastern culture, you never name something God something. It's like the concept doesn't exist. Okay, you don't name something God's something. Okay, it's like doesn't exist. You don't do that. You know so anyway, so he named his language Shen. Okay, so I don't know. I haven't tried these languages, but I tried to since I know Mark, I've tried to since 2007. Okay, yeah, 2007. I created this logo for him. Then he used it on his forum. Then after a few years, he ditched it. Then he changed his language to Shen. It's idiot. Okay, don't change your name. Okay, nobody knows. I mean, even to this day, nobody know what the fuck is Shen. He's a complete idiot. I mean, not at marketing. Okay, not even. We are not talking about marketing. I mean, usually nerds we don't like marketing, right? We don't like so twisted commercialism. The monetarism becomes evil. You use all sort of evil tactics to grow your product, things like that. We don't like that. But anyway, the Mark Tarver guy, he's not even. I mean, we are not even mentioning about marketing. He's such a person that his behavior, I mean, whatever the way he thinks, his behavior is such that has a negative impact on whatever the thing he creates. Like he makes it less and less popular. He like his decision, his thinking just have that effect. Okay, just make it less, make it fail. He's kind of like that. Like every time, for example, one example is like he kept changing name, rename his stuff. Like nobody even know what is chi yet. Chi's been around, since 2007, but nobody knows. But then he decided, oh, we're gonna have chi too. Then he decided we're gonna have Shen. Fuck, idiot. What a complete idiot. That's one example. One example of his behavior such that totally destroys any success for himself. There are quite a few other examples. That's where I talked about it in this article. Why Chi Lisp fails and Clojure succeeds. Clojure is another Lisp family of languages. But however, the Clojure guy, Rich Hickey, I also talked to him a few times. Um, the Rich Hickey guy, he's an English guy. He's successful. Closure is such a success, great success. I mean, we are not talking about, oh, maybe he employs some nasty tactics or some black hat SEOs so to grow his language. Nothing like that. Rich Hickey is just normal guy. Okay, he's not greedy at all. I know. I study people. Like whenever I touch people, I study them. I look into their behavior, what have they done, their history, kind of, at least somewhat. Okay, so I know Rich Hickey. He's not a greedy guy. He's, in my opinion, okay, he's good person, and also everything I like him. Except the Clojure language intermix with Java. I don't like that part. That's why I don't do much Clojure. But anyway, Rich Hickey is a great guy. So he is not some kind of nasty businessman, not at all. He just do reasonable. Like I created the language Clojure, I put on my website, and I create a website so people know, and it just grew. Right, it grew not because some evil tactics, because people like it. They just grew. And if people have questions, they can ask him. Maybe if he have time, he answer it. It just grow and grow. Okay, Rich Hickey Clojure, very successful. Meanwhile, the Chi is kind of, the Chi or Shen is also very, I think it's, I don't know, I don't know the language, but I can kind of tell it's also a great language. Okay, a complete new Lisp, but it's going nowhere. Why? Because Mark Tarver himself, he is kind of like destroying. He it kind of has to do with the personality. That's the thing. You see, the reason it's like this now is because personality. Maybe it's like me. Okay, I'm not. I'm living in poverty. Things like that. It's due to yourself. It's just the way you interact with society, your personality. So anyway, so that's why I think Mark Tarver is kind of like that. Okay, he just failed. Okay, this article is kind of unrelated. That's anyway. So I have these three articles about chi, and also I have also, by the way, Mark Tarver, he has wrote. Okay, actually I have more articles than these. Uh, let's see if I can find it. He has another article. Okay, he has another article. Mark Tarver. Mark Tarver has wrote another article where he basically criticized open source and free software foundation, just like me. His opinion on open source and free software is almost exactly like mine. He has written an article, an essay about it. But his website is gone. Like he this idiot, okay, Mark Tarver. He one day the entire website, it's called Lambda Associate. I think the website is called, yeah, there it is. It's entirely, one day it's just deleted. So it's this Mark Tarver, he's got problems with this issue. One day it's deleted, of the account. Wait. Okay, so anyway, Lambda Associates.org, it was his website. He was the home of Chi and home of Shen. One day it's just gone. Then I guess the web squatters, the spammers took over. Bought the domain name. That is why you see this account suspended. That's why. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But anyway, so Lambda Associate. So you have to go to Web Archive. Okay, you go to Web Archive, Internet, Wayback Machine. Then you can search for Lambda Associate. That's Mark Tarver's website. So you see back in 2000, then you can start to read. You can go check it out yourself. So that's my opinion about Mark Tarver. I don't know how he is doing now. And also he kind of pissed me off one time. Because at at least in my mind, I really am his friend. Okay, I want to help him succeed. Even I don't have money. I'm kind of like in the same ballpark as him. Okay, on the edge, on the brink of existence. But at least I can. I read my blogs, so I mention his stuff, and I create the logo for him. I try to promote it. But then I also wrote this article. Okay, I wrote this article. Criticize why Chi Lisp fails and why Clojure succeeds. This article is in 2011. But then later on, like a year or two ago, I noticed on the Shen language, or Chi, or Shen, they have a Google Talk forum where people can talk about language. One day I saw, in one of his message, I guess someone mentioned my criticism of his issues. Then Mark Tarver responded. Now I'm not going to dig into. You can search and find it. Okay, and basically he said, like, oh yeah, Kasar is such a troll. Basically he said something like that. Kasar, is such a troll. That hurt. That hurts me. Because at least to me, I was, trying to, trying to promote him and Chi, and then, he's just like, oh, Kasar is a troll. Uh, you know, so that's about that. So Bartholomew says a closure already has a big advantage being based on JVM. Yes, maybe you need to breathe more chi into your inquiry about what? Inquiry of what? Uh, so closure. Okay, so these concepts are more volatile, especially than Western, in my humble opinion. Uh, I forgot what's the context. And Dingo says that. Okay, then Bartholomew says on Shen's website, it never mentions God. It says that Shen means something like spirit. Yeah, that's what he say. Shen just means God. I mean, again, Chinese has multiple meanings. So Shen. So first of all, the Eastern word God do not have the exact same meaning like the God in Western society. Okay, uh, so God, God, but if you have to translate, it's a word God. So in Eastern society or culture, China or Japan, or God, you don't have like single, so-called monotheistic religion. It's not one God. Okay, so in Western society, when you say God, typically the implication. I mean, we understand it's typically one God, Christian God, or maybe in Islam, basically one God. Okay, one God. But that's not the case in Eastern philosophy. It doesn't matter Hindu or Buddhism or Japanese. You don't have the concept of single God. So when we say God or Shen, okay, and let me show you Chinese then, okay, how you can try to Google Translate, okay. So I'm gonna type Chinese, okay, that's the third word, I think. Uh, yeah, Chinese have many homonyms, so third, okay, that is the character. Now you can Google Wiktionary or Google Translate. Whatever you can find what it meaning. So let's try to search. Okay, so Wikipedia. We can go to Wikipedia. This is a Japanese version. Um, and we can actually let me show you my Emacs techniques. Okay, when you have a okay, type that, magnify. Emacs has this problem. Oh God, reopen. Okay, magnify, magnify. Okay, this Chinese character. Now let's say call Emacs command mx etymology. Actually, Chinese. Okay, some words Chinese linkify. Okay, now showing browser, magnify. So we got three links. Okay, so actually show this in Google Chrome because I don't have JavaScript on in Firefox. Okay, so we have this page. We have three links. Okay, Google Translate, Wiktionary, and history of the character. Let's look at them one by one. So I think that's it for today. I've been talking. Yeah, that's about it. So you can see Google Translate. It says God. God, deity. Yeah, deity is probably the better translation. Deity, but deity is less common word. Most people understand God. Deity is like less people understand it. Divinity, yes. Spirit, yes. Uh, well, look, kind of, yeah. Expression, not really. If you want that word to mean look or expression, you have to combine with other words. Okay. But anyway, by the word "sen," it's pronounced. Let me pronounce it. Okay, "sen." Okay, again, "sen," "sen." Now you can see how Google pronounce it. You cannot hear it, but anyway, anyway. So it means God, deity, divinity. Okay. Then let's go to Wiktionary. Magnify. You can see similar. Okay. Let's see Chinese. You see, Chinese characters are used in Japanese, in Chinese, then also in Korean, and also in Vietnamese. That's why it's very confusing in Wiktionary. So anyway, so let's go to it shows you the etymology, the old way to write the character. So this character can be written like 2,000 years ago. It's like that. And there's Mandarin pronunciation. You can read definition. Okay, so religion, God, deity, spirit, soul, mind. Okay, then expression, countenance, appearance, or supernatural magic. Okay, and things like that. Then on this page, again, this is the history of the character. So in Brown's characters, Brown's age, not Brown's age, Brown's anyway, like 2,000 years ago, it's written like that. So eventually it becomes like that. This is what it looks like today. Okay, so anyway, that's the oh, wait, close. This website, by the way, it's made by this guy, this white guy. He studied Chinese characters. So anyway, I think that's about it. So why are we talking about this character? Yeah, because we were talking about the Shen language. Okay, that's it for today. Anything else? So 2 more minutes actually this time for real. 2 more minutes. I'm going to shut down. Any questions? Last comments? Next video. So tomorrow next week. Okay, tomorrow is Sunday. So tomorrow is gonna be 9 o'clock, same time as today. But starting on Monday to next week Monday, we're gonna have 10 o'clock a.m. San Francisco time. So any last words, guys? Last words. When you have something, then you have what's your last word? Shrink. Bye, guys. Now I need to have a drag of this. Let's see. Can you see the smoke? Can you see the smoke? Now this one, this is THB. It doesn't have much smoke. Carrick. Bye, Carrick. Where are you from again, Carrick? Dingo, weeaboo. Weeaboo. Oh, Nim. I forgot to talk about Nim. But Nim is this language based on. Oh yeah, Nim is like kind of like Golang, in the same class of Golang. It's very fast, very fast. It's kind of compiled, and the syntax is what is like was it Python? I think its syntax is Python based, or was it Ruby? I think it's Python. But Ruby has similar. There's a language called Crystal. Uh, so this is so we. I'm gonna shut down. But let me type last. One thing. Crystal. Okay, name Crystal Golang. Let's see. Proliferation of languages. Let's look at. It's all the way near the bottom. So many languages, I can talk, so many things we need to talk. This is why that is why we have Xa Talk Show. We need to talk. Julia, the view, the look into humanity. Look at what human animals are doing. This is what they are doing. At least one aspect of it. This. So many languages. Elm, Hex, Hack, Swift, Elixir, Kotlin. Kotlin became very, very popular. Vim. I need a Vim logo. Nim, not Vim. Nim. Nim is a Python syntax with modernized C-like semantics and speed. Yeah, I heard a lot good things about Nim. So Nim to me is just like Python, modern Python, something like that. I mean, if you want one sentence summary, then it's like fast Python, like Python but in C speed, something like that. Then Crystal is like Ruby in C speed. Okay, and to me, when I look at them, I think of them like Golang. I don't fancy name and I don't fancy crystal. Like I'm not going to study them because I'm just going to stick with Golang, stick with mainstream. Because like I said, there's a thing, okay, maybe maybe they are technically superior, it's possible they are very truly technically superior and better than Golang, but the thing is, it's kind of it's niche. I mean, these are from, I know there are people, computer nerds, they kind of, they'll go nowhere, like Scheme, after 10 years, it's like Scheme Lisp, it's going nowhere. So you have to consider the social aspect. So for example, you could say I wasted my life for 20 years. I wasted my life. Now I'm well known in Emacs community and as a Emacs Lisp expert. I kind of wasted my life. What you gonna do with Emacs and or Emacs Lisp? Nobody give a fuck. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you Brazil. Ah, right. Yes, I forgot. See you next time. Bye.